Okay guys, so I'm going to be treating Richard here, the bearded dragon, with dewormer. So this is a preventative measure, but mainly it's because his poop looks weird and I don't know why, and I think this is a sign of internal parasites, and also he's very skinny. So those two things would kind of point to me and being like, hey, he probably has internal parasites. I haven't gotten his stool tested, but I guess we'll know if his stool does end up changing. Now this does, I've read that this can make them go off food, but he's like crazy for food, as you can see here. I doubt that he will, but the way to get them back on that is to try to kind of get food into their mouth again. And he's very tame and calm when you're handling him, so I don't think I'll have any trouble with that. But basically, I am following the YouTuber Chuck Horn, and he did a video about doing this with his Nightingales, and he put 2 websites in the description, so I read through those, and I should know what I'm doing here. So this is fenbendazole. You can go watch his video. He's kind of basically doing the same thing as I am here, except he's doing it with 2 Nightingales that he thinks were caught in Florida, so just as like making sure. And I'm doing it with a bearded dragon here. So from reading, I'll link the 2 pages as well as his video, but while reading Reptile magazine, which is one of the websites he listed there, it said that for best results, like use it 5 days in a row, like give the amount 5 days in a row, and then wait 10 days and then do it again. So that's what my plan is, just because I think it said that if you use it like once, it's kind of sparingly, like at once, like every couple of days, then it's not going to work as well. So this is my plan here. But basically, from reading, fenbendazole isn't super toxic, and there's not really like, I say that it can become toxic, but it's very, very hard for you to give them that much. Like in mice, it said that like there wasn't even a significant like when testing it on mice, there wasn't even a significant amount of the population that didn't do well after giving it 10,000 times more than the recommended dose. So it isn't, this is actually equine or equine, this is for horses, and this is actually 10%. In Chuck Horn's video he uses 5%, but I don't think it'll be all that different, considering it doesn't clarify anywhere, I don't think. So I mean, like on the website it doesn't really, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this, and I think that he'll be all right. But obviously I'm monitoring him, so like if anything starts going bad, we do have a vet and everything that we can contact and stuff, but we'd rather not. I mean, if I can do this with the animals that I get in and not harm them in any way, but just as like a, let's make sure, because I don't really know about this type of thing, that would be ideal, I think. Just like this is what quarantine's for, so that's one of the nice things about the fact that he's in quarantine. I don't have to worry about this spreading to any of my other animals because he's in a completely different room. But just like external parasites or diseases and stuff, you want to make sure that they're doing all right. And he's eating like everything. He doesn't eat his greens as much, but he really likes vegetables, which is kind of strange. So he really likes those. And then he's gotten waxworms, which came with him, so no more waxworms. I'd finish those out, but since he's skinny, I figured I'd just feed them to him. And then from there, he's gotten dubia roaches and actually a little bit of egg. I hard-boiled an egg, and I fed that to him just because They said it was really high in protein, so I gave him, I split it in half, and then I gave him one half one day and then one half the next day. And I won't do that very often, but just because of his condition, his skinniness, I figured like the more protein and stuff would be better. So I'm just going to go ahead and time lapse this now. Okay, so from his weight, first of all, he's grown like a ton since he's gotten here, but it's probably also because he ate half an egg today. But basically on here, this is milliliters, and he's gonna try to eat it, but it's not even 1 milliliter. He's going crazy here. And it's not even 0.1 milliliter. It's actually 0.098. So he's trying to eat this thing. So that'll be like really small in here. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's gonna be like nothing on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and squirt this in here and see how it goes. Well, he is really intensely trying to eat this. I'm trying to make him not jump off the table. Okay. Well, he's chilling on my couch. I have this, and I'm not sure that it's a male yet. I haven't looked at its pores. But basically, I'm going to take this, and I figured out how this works in milliliters and stuff. So then I guess I'm just going to, I don't know, take this off, and then squirt just a little bit here, and I'm going to go get him real quick. Okay, he was running away, and my dog's here, and yeah. Here's this. I'm just going to put a little bit into it, and then I'll squirt out whatever I don't need. So that should be enough. Don't really have to give a whole lot, but like, I don't know if it's just that egg, but like, he's way bigger than he was when the day I got him, so that's really good at least. He definitely looks bigger. So then, the reason I put so much in is because I had to account for what'll be going through there. So yeah, this is a lot. And then take a paper towel here. And sorry for the dryer noise in the background, or maybe that's the washer, I'm not sure. And then I'm just gonna get this just a little tiny bit. Okay. And then I'm just gonna give this to his mouth, and he'll literally eat anything. So I think it'd probably even be a good idea to put this on an insect, but I think I'm just gonna get it into his mouth. So I'm gonna get him. Okay, so that was literally the easiest thing ever, and that was like nothing at all. So this should help. And then the main parasite, I think this was like pinworms. So there's other parasites as well that this is checking for, but there's certain parasites that are common in bearded dragons that I don't think this will treat for, because like there's things like outside the normal like digestive system. But as you see, he doesn't really care about this, so he just wants to eat my hand, and his bite kind of hurts. Like, I'm gonna be honest here, he does like to bite me, but he's fun, and I like how his tail doesn't get dropped, so I can like, I mean, I won't pick him up by his tail, but that's just a nice little feature bearded dragons have. But I'm gonna go ahead and put him back in his cage, and yeah, that was really simple, so that's pretty nice. So the main issue with this is that I'm not exactly sure when or how I'll know when he is properly done with or if he got out the worms. But what I'm assuming will happen is that his poop will turn normal, because basically it's not digested properly like Charles's poop or Darwin's poop or anything like that. My crested geckos and my iguana. It's not processed like that. It's kind of just like gross. So as you can see, he still wants food, but I'll do this for the next 4 days, and then I will do it again 10 days after that for 5 days, because I think that should be enough to like get him all situated and stuff. But yeah, he's really nice, and I hope that this helps and gets him nice and perfectly the right size, because I don't want him to be skinny at all. Okay, so that video was on February 23rd, and it is now March 16th, and I've completed both of his treatment things of the 5 days, and his poop isn't any better. Now, he's doing really great. He's eating. He never went off food whatsoever. Just doing great. I don't know why his mouth's open, but he's really friendly, and he's just doing great, except that his poop is disgusting, and I'm pretty sure that pretty much means that he has worms. So I'm gonna figure out how to get a fecal test done for him, so then we can figure out exactly what to treat, because there's so many different reptile parasites that I just don't want to have to like load him up with a bunch of different medicines that I don't really need to. By the way, that's my tortoise crawling on wood. Anyway, so that's kind of the plan with him. I don't really know what else to do. I'm keeping him in quarantine, and again, he's doing really well. He's super friendly, always eating. And what I end up doing is rather than having to get him out and like stick that thing in his mouth, even though he did open his mouth for me, which was the craziest thing, I went ahead and opened up the dubia roach. I know that sounds pretty gross, but I would like stick my tongs into him and then open it up, and then I would put the medicine inside of it, and then I'd feed it to him. And this would be a good way if you have an animal that you can't handle like I can with him, or even like wrap it inside some greens if it was like a green iguana or something that you need to do this with. So there's different ways. Now, if this had like worked well, then I would probably make another video about like different ways to do it. But again, I'm not a professional about this at all, and I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. But I'm sure whatever other medicine I have to give him in the future from the vet, I'll show you guys what I do for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put it in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. Speaking of more content, about to show you a clip of me feeding him on the ground, because I will get him out here. His enclosure is behind me. I'm actually resting against the enclosure stand. But I'll get him out down here, and I'll feed him dubia roaches. So here is that. Bye.